How do I set up Vim to add plugins and colors and things like that? This video will provide an overview of how to do that for those that ask me. I often have students, colleagues that say to me, what's the process of going through setting up Vim, and often that process is secondary to the task we're working on, so I don't often have time to sit down and explain how it's done, so I thought I'd put this video together showing it. So what we need is root access to our machine, and I've already ran apt install vim, so I'm not just using ordinary VI. The next thing we need to do is go to Google and just type the word vundle, VUNDLE. Okay. Now, just a bit of a disclaimer, there are multiple ways to do this. This is just the way I do it. Okay. This is not a production server, this is my own computer, so I feel like I should be entitled to set up my own computer in whatever way I like, and if you have your own way of doing this, that's fine. Okay, so let's go to the GitHub page for Vundle. Now, if we scroll down on this, we'll see that there's a guide. Alright, a quick start here. So the first thing it's telling me to do is to git clone Vundle here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have two terminals open. Okay, we're going to have a root terminal and a user terminal, and I'm just going to run this git clone command into my user terminal. Okay, so alright, that was fairly painless, wasn't it? Now let's run it in my root terminal as well. Cool. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to set up a vimrc, so a runtime configuration file for Vim, and there's an example vimrc here, so let's just copy that. Okay, and then we want to go, now if I do ls a long list and we search for anything that starts with, okay, we've got a couple of videos there, but we don't have anything. Okay, we've got a Vim and a Vim info, but what we need to do is we need to make a vimrc. So we need to do vim.vimrc, and what this is going to do is this is this, like, could be considered the startup configuration file for Vim. So let's go in here. Okay, now we want to go into let's do set paste. Alright, so we're ready to paste, and then we want to take what we got from that GitHub page, paste her in. Okay, now I wouldn't worry about what this is. This set no compatible sets Vim to not be compatible. This tells it not to act like the old VI. So let's save that. Okay, and then let's move to the plugin install stage. Now I will say I'm not going to edit this video, so if something goes slightly wrong, that's, I'll try and fix it. So into Vim, and then we just do plugin install. Okay, not an editor command. I've seen this before as well. So launch Vim and run plugin install, but it doesn't like it, and I'm wondering if that's to do with the permissions. Okay, so let's do so there's the vimrc, but look, I don't know, we should be able to rewrite, we should probably be able to execute that as well. Let's have a look and see what it says here. So put this at the top of your vimrc, illustration purposes, launch Vim and run plugin install. Okay, I mean I could try let's just try. check what's in there. Okay. Plenty of stuff in here. Ha, that's it. That's worked. So this command here's worked for some reason. I don't know why the other command didn't work. Okay, so what what Vim's doing now is it's going away onto the internet and talking to these various plugins and pulling down the information we need. Okay, so that seems to be done now. So if I okay, so that's vundle installed. Alright, so now if I do into Vim, alright, this should be working. Okay, so let's do .vimrc. Okay, interesting. Right, now the next thing we want to do is we want to add a plugin called lightline. Okay, so again we want to go to a GitHub page for lightline. Just scroll down. Now what it says here is that we can add this using vundle. Now that we have vundle installed, we can add lightline. So let's copy this. Okay, and then let's go to our vimrc. Now in our vimrc it'll say, okay, all of your plugins must be added before the following line. See that, just that line there. So let's put this plugin in here, and then let's run this again, and you can see it's going to install lightline. Now if I do vi, okay, I remember this, that doesn't work off the bat. There's a little thing you have to add. This set last status equals 2 to the very top of the vimrc. So let's do it up here, there. Okay, take out that blank line, and then let's try. Haha! Now we've got this status bar along the bottom here. We press I, that gets us into insert mode. We do V, that gets us into visual mode. Okay, so that's how to install the Vim plugins. Hopefully that's helpful. Now, something that a lot of people are going to disagree with. Okay, you've got a couple of choices here. We can either repeat that as root. If I do vi as root now, I'm not going to have that. So what we can do is we can either repeat that process, okay, or we could run a link to link these to link the software from the user account to the root account. So what I think I'm actually going to do, okay, let's have a look at the vimrc. Oh, okay, so we got everything already in the root. Is this the root vimrc, really? No. What we need to do is go to the home of root now. Okay, and then we need to make a file called vimrc. Now if we go to the vimrc here, in fact what we can do, right, watch this here, how's this for a trick? cp/home michael.vimrc to .vimrc here. Okay, now we should be able to run that plugin install command. Let's go for now, the only thing to be mindful of is the fact that the two are not linked. So we could have different plugins set for the root account than we do for the for the home user's account. Okay, so just see if this will work. So what this has given us is, let's try VI now. There we go. So that's working as root now. Alright, so root and user both have access. Now there is a VI plugin called nerdtree. Alright, nerdtree, a tree explorer for Vim. Okay, and I'm just going to look for the shortcut for it. I think it's like Control-Shift-N or something. Map CN, Control-N. Let's try it. Let's just open VI as normal. Okay. Alt-N maybe, Alt-Shift. No. Control-Shift-N. No. Control-N. No. Shift-N. No. Alt-N. Windows key N. Alt-Shift-N. Control-Alt-N. No. There's a way to get new windows and stuff to pop up. I used to be a bit better at this than I am now. What can we do? Stick this in your vimrc to open nerdtree with Control-N. You can set whatever key you want. Okay, let's fire this in to the vimrc and see what happens. So let's do we actually need to install nerdtree. Okay, let's do bundle search nerdtree. Below is the vim config file. Now the vimrc will just add the line plugin screw loose nerdtree. Okay, so let's add the line plugins go below this line. So let's put it under itchy lightline here. Okay. Okay. Take out the blank lines. Let's run the plugin install again. And we've mapped it to. Okay, so now if we do VI, we do Control-N. See, this gives us a file navigation. Okay. Toggle on and off the file browser. Alright, that's just a little taste of some of the other stuff we can do. Okay, so a final little bit of configuration is installing the Source Code Pro font. That's the font I like to use in the terminal. It's a font by Adobe. So all we do is we go to Google and we type installing Source Code Pro. Alright, and this rogerpence.com, I'll find his website, it's pretty good. And we want to take this bash script, alright, and we could just run it, but what I like to do, okay, not search for it on Google, that's silly, is I like to just run the various individual commands inside this bash script to get Source Code Pro installed. So let's just come out of what I was doing here. Okay, and let's go to CD to downloads, and then let's grab this. Okay, then what we're going to do, once that's downloaded, just make dir fonts. Okay, then we're going to unzip the thing we downloaded. Okay, then we're going to copy Source Code Pro, okay, to the fonts. Then we're going to remove any excess. Then we're going to go remove the zip file. Okay, then we're going to run this font cache. Okay, and what this does is this just goes through the font cache of the system. Now, finally, if we go to the terminal menu, okay, preferences, and we go to our profile, we should now be able to change, and I like this one, semi-bold. Okay, we should now be able to change our font to that. Alright, and that gives us, so that should be a good setup there. Hopefully that's been helpful.